to the Connector, where I am your host, Sharon Davis. Listen, I am super excited on today because I have someone here with us that is from my home team, right? Born and raised right out of Pelham, Georgia. And listen, I get so excited when I'm able to collaborate and come together with those that are from the home team. And so our guest for today is none other than the true perspective coach herself, Miss Felisha Drags. Welcome to the Connector.
Good morning, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everything that you're doing and doing for me as well. But my name is Felisha Drags. I am the life coach, true perspective life coach. And life coach, I became a life coach back in April of 2020 when the height of the pandemic. I was like, okay, it's something I know I need to be doing. You know, everyone say, you know, you're a talker. You can get people to do things. You can get people to listen. So I did some researching on life coach, and I joined the class and I enjoyed it and became a certified life coach. But I actually started, with my business the end of December. I became a life coach in April, kind of like waited a little bit, trying to see what it is that I needed to do. And one day I was just sitting around and God said to declutter. And I began to say, declutter the heart. I said, okay, picked it up in December. And I actually started my first class started it out in December. Well, the class actually started in January, but I promoted it in December. And first class ended this month. I had 12 ladies that came in into the decluttering the heart. 12 ladies. Wow. And when I say decluttering the heart wasn't just for them, because I too had to declutter. I had to declutter before I started the class. I had to declutter. I had death in the family. 3 of my siblings passed. And I had to learn how to declutter the hurt, declutter grieving out of my heart. Went through a broken marriage. And I had to learn how to declutter that marriage and not to hold on to the things that my eyes saw, that my heart was feeling. I had to learn how to declutter. I had to learn to declutter from all of those things. But one thing I realized, Sharon, it wasn't just what happened to me 2 or 3 years ago. I had to declutter when I was a little girl. Mm-hmm. He sent me back to when I was that little girl, that I was empty and broken, didn't have a father. Father passed when I was 2, didn't know what it felt like to have a father. So he sent me back. He sent me back to declutter when I was a little girl. All of those things that affected me when I was a little girl, teenage. When I became a teenage mother, I had to declutter. When I was in an abusive relationship for 13 years, I had to declutter. Do you know I had to go back to that person and let him know that I forgive him for what he did? But this was after I decluttered that pain. This was after I decluttered the embarrassment, the hurt, the ridicule. I had to go to him and let him know, I forgive you. Yeah. I forgive you for holding on to all of these things that I've been holding on to. So decluttering. And then God began to say, in order to help someone else, you have to declutter. You have to get rid of the old things. It's just like going into your closet and you see all of these clothes that you no longer wear anymore. So you want to get rid of them. And how do you begin to get rid of them? Sometimes we're looking at spots that's still on the clothes and we want to keep them because it brings back memories. It's time to get rid of those memories and make new memories. How can we be filled up? How can God come and give us what he wants us to have when we still filled up with the old junk? It's time to declutter the old junk so that the new blessings, the new things, the new eyes, the new heart, the new mindset can come in, and that we can do and grow like we should have been growing years ago. But it's time to declutter. That's what I told the ladies. And even in the class, we had ladies that gave testimonies after the class, how this class helped them to release some people and some things out of their life. How they was holding on to some people 5 years, what they did to them, but the class helped them. I will be starting my next class, March the 20th. I'll be starting my decluttering class next month.
Awesome. So you're starting your next decolor class in March. So if they're wanting to sign up, do you do it virtually? Is this in-house? How do you compose those classes?
It's the decluttering class is virtual. We will be on Zoom
Okay.
because of the pandemic, COVID.
Yeah,
I
sure,
want to
sure.
keep everything as sanitized, as protect
Sure.
everyone as much as I can. So we do the class. It's 6 sessions,
6
six
sessions.
Saturdays
Awesome.
from 11 to 12. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but
Okay.
however God leads us, that's what we do, because it's a party as well as while we're teaching. It is a party because we're releasing that stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like you're being declogged. You know how you have to go in there, your sink is clogged up. You have to go get Drano, but you got to declog it. So we declutter and we get some stuff out the way.
Awesome.
But it's 6 sessions from 11 to 12. And it'll begin March the 20th. And how they can sign up is they can email me at trueperspectivecoaching@gmail.com to sign up, or they can inbox me. Felicia Drags, or go on True Perspective Coaching page to send me a message as
This
well.
is via Facebook?
Via Facebook.
Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
via Facebook. And we will discuss the price. The price will be on the flyer. I'm getting ready to post the flyer, so the price will be on the flyer. The price of the class for 6 sessions is $240. And also, if they're not able to pay the $240 at one time, it's installments, because you have to invest in yourself. That's what I had.
Amen.
That's what the word
That's
I
it.
kept hearing, from God. Invest.
Absolutely.
Because if you never invest in yourself, who's going to invest in you?
All right. I love it. I love it. Listen, it starts from here. Oftentimes I always say, it's so easy to work and try to fix everybody else and want to, plug in to help everybody else. But sometimes the work has to start with you, right? Not sometimes, ultimately, the work has to start with you. And then when you become better, then everything really that you put your hands to becomes better. How we think, how we move, it becomes better. And so I like that. But you mentioned a few nuggets there. And one of them, I think you touched on things that you went through even, as a little girl. So when it came down to the whole coaching aspect, did you think that you wanted to go into coaching at a young age, or just something that has just recently developed over, your adulthood and some of the things that you mentioned, that you went through and things that you felt? So talk about that a little bit as to how you literally just say, you know what, this is the time I'm now going to step out and to do, because there's somebody that's watching, there's somebody that's listening, that they don't know how to get up. They have ideas, they have dreams. They have what it looks like in their mind, but they don't have to get up to go ahead and just step out there on faith and do it. I do believe that timing is everything as it relates to God. Sometimes we can have an awesome idea, but we have to pray about, when is the right time? When is the time for me? Just because millions of people are out there and they're doing things, you got to make sure, are you in your momentum, at this particular time in God? Because, whatever God has for you, right? It's for you. And so sometimes I find out many things is procrastination, can be a hindrance, right? Or it's the matter of that we sit at the table and we write over and over and over and over, but we never get up. What good is it to have all of these things written, all of these ideas out? And yes, the word tells us to write the vision, right? Make it plain. Though it tarry, wait on it. But sometimes we can find ourselves at the table for so long and we never get up. So we got all of these things in us, but we're never getting up to actually launch and walk into it. So talk to us about that.
Yes. No, it was never a thing when I was a young girl that I wanted to be a life coach. I wanted to help people. That was never the thing. I was always the person when I was much younger that I stood behind my sister. My sister was the talker. I didn't talk. She did everything for me. As I became, older, my mid-20s, I still did not want to be a coach. I still did not want to help people. This just happened 2 years ago. 2 years ago, God had me sitting, looking over my life. And again, like I said, invest. I was going to classes. I was taking classes. I was writing a vision, but I didn't make it plain enough for myself. I just kept writing. Did a vision board, several vision boards. Like I said, I'm writing, but didn't make it clear to me. What came clear to me was 2 years ago. It was my time. Right. I've given you all the tools. When are you going to use the tools that I've given you? Amen. Take that tool belt out that you already have, dust it off, and go back through what I've given you, because everything that I've given you, your keys are in there. Your key points are in there. And that's what I started doing, Sharon. I started going back through a lot of notes that I took over the years. And I started looking at myself when I was working in the school system, helping children. And that's when God began to speak to me. You always had a voice. Now it's time to use your voice. But do you believe in yourself enough to step out on faith to do what I am calling you to do? That's to motivate. That's to encourage. That's to coach someone to their next level. You've been doing it. You've been doing it with your own children. You've been doing it with your family. Now it's time to go out. And as you said one word, launch out. God said to rise up. He told me, hallelujah, rise up, Felisha. Rise up, Felisha Drake, and launch out into the deep, because your blessings are in the deep. The blessings are not on the edge, because the edge is, it's a safe place. The edge is a safe place. But he said, I need you to go all the way out there. He said, even if you can't swim, I am your life jacket. I am your life. You hear what I'm saying? Life jacket, life coach. I am your life jacket, and I'm going to coach you to swim all the way out to the deep to get what I already have for you. So none of this started when I was a little girl, but everything I went through, it taught me something to teach someone else. It taught me that you can be an awesome woman, even if your father, your earthly father, isn't here, because you have a spiritual father that's guiding you. He may not be here in body form, but he's here to guide you. Yeah. And then it taught me about relationships. Yeah. See, everything that I've been going through, he's been coaching me as life jacket, life coach. He's been coaching me. Relationships that I went through. He said, you giving your all. Everybody shouldn't have access to you. You got to deny access to some people. You giving them everything.
Just say that again. Say that again for me. Come on, coach. Say it one more time. Everybody should not what?
Have access to you.
I love it. All right.
Everybody shouldn't know all of the ingredients that's on the inside of you. Everybody shouldn't see everything that's on the inside of you. And he said, everybody can't have access to you. Deny them the access. Deny some of the people access. When I went through that relationship, that abusive relationship, it taught me as a woman, I'm worth more than standing here allowing somebody to low rate me, to talk down on me, or to put their hands on me. It taught me that you're worth more than anything. And as the scripture is that you're worth more than rubies. Rubies, I'm worth more than that, Sharon. I'm worth more than that. So now I know my position. I know my place. I know what I can and I will tolerate. And I won't tolerate all of this. You cannot talk to me any kind of way. Again, life coaching. Became a teenage mother, single mother, didn't know what to do, still going to school, graduated. I'm still teaching people you can do it. You can still become that successful mother, even as a teenage mother. Don't allow anybody to, belittle you and say what you can and cannot do. I was one that was almost in that situation, that you was never going to amount to anything. You're not this, you're not beautiful. But I took all of those words, Sharon, and became a life coach to teach people that you are worth more than the words that's being thrown at you. And I give this scenario. You know how we go in the grocery store and we just pick up, we know we want some sweet peas and we pick up the can of sweet peas, right? So in our mind, the label say sweet peas, right? So that's what's in the can. But what if you open up that can and you have carrots in that can? See, just because when people label you, when they label you, you're not worthy, you're dysfunctional. All you have to do is peel that label off of you, and you put the right label on you, the label that God say you are. So we're not defined by the labels that people say we are. We're defined by the labels that God say we are. And that's all in my life coaching session. It's just like I just want to give. It's so much on the inside that I want to give and that I am giving through life coaching. I do a group life coaching, a group session, and I also do one-on-one life coaching. You don't have to come into the group. It's one-on-one. I meet with one-on-one life coach session once a week. We meet once a week, 30 minutes to an hour. The hour is blocked off just for me and that person.
Awesome. Wow. I love it. I'll sum it up like this. It sounds like life's happenings, right? Anybody that's close to me, they hang around me at any point, they've heard me preach, talk. I always talk about life happening. And so, no matter what, you're going to experience life's happenings, right?
Yes.
And that's whether the good, the bad, or the ugly. And so really what you've done is you've taken life's happenings to use it as a testimony, to
Yes.
somebody else to say, you know what I've gone through, I don't look like what I've gone through. And if you knew my story, you'd know that you can do it too. And so I love it to take, it's easy to take the good things and, turn it around and launch it and be great. But it is something when you can take the negative things or what look negative to say, you know what, I will not be victim, but everything that I have gone through has been for such a time as this, because somebody was going to come across your path, right? That went through the same thing. And guess what? You have a story. God brought you out. So now let me pay it forward and plant a seed so that somebody else can come out. And so I love that aspect from True Perspective Coaching. So when people sign up for the class, because as you know, right, there's so many life coaches out there. God is doing amazing things in the lives of people and even in the arena of the coaching. And so let's say your flyer or your information was up, right next to somebody else. What would you say are the three main things from True Perspective Coaching that is your niche, that is your drawing, that says, you know what, I am the coach for you?
My three main perspective that people would take from True Perspective Life Coaching is that you'll be a new you. That's number one. You will become a new you. Number two, you won't look like what you look like when you begin the class.
All right.
You will not look the same. My third one, you will not even talk the same. You will not even walk the same. You will not even be in the same position that you was in when you first started the class. Because when you leave out of True Perspective Life Coach, everything is about to turn around. It's not how you started it with True Life Perspective, but it's about how you're going to end it. And you're going to end with a bang. You're going to end with knowing your worth. You're going to end with knowing that I have decluttered and I no longer have to deal with those issues that doesn't belong to me. You're going to know that I can walk in boldness. You're going to know that I can speak bold. You're going to know that I am who God has called me to be and that nobody can deter me from where God is about to take me. You're going to know who you are. Your name is going to be ringing when you leave True Perspective Life Coach. That's what this is about.
All right. I love it. Listen, you all, I am so excited about what God is doing in this young lady's life. It is amazing. I always say to people, listen, it's not where you come from. It's where you're going. So I don't care what you've been through. Listen, if you are breathing today, that means that you can get back up and, try it again. And, this is my thing. I want to encourage people that who we're talking to today, Miss Felisha Drags, the True Perspective Coach. It's a life testimony. She's a living testimony of what God can do in your life. You've heard some of her struggles. She has been transparent with us on today. And so this is what this platform, it's all about. I've always been told, Ms. Drags, that I am the one for the underdogs, and so I accepted that a long time ago. And does not mean that I collaborate with many people from all walks of life, but there is nothing like seeing somebody that said you wouldn't make it, and God takes that person and lifts them out of the trenches and say, you know what, this is who I have for such a time as this. And so there are faces that are coming forth before the nations, before the country, like we have never seen before, because it is your time. And so we thank God that every opportunity that he gives us, it is to plant seed, it is to sow into the lives of the next. I always say that you're in line now, but you won't always be there forever. And so what do you do now when God says you're no longer next? This is your now. And so I want to encourage people to don't be afraid. Don't be fearful. Know that everything that God has placed in you, you're ready. I tell people, why would God give you $1 million right now and you're not doing anything? He's just going to sit in your lap, but you don't have a vision. You don't have anything going. Work while it is day. And I am telling you, the right people will come along that God will say, you know what? I need you to invest into that person. I need you to plant seed into that person. It does not matter. You don't have to have all of the answers now. You just got to know what God has destined in your life And when he says that the time is now to move, that's what we have to do with the boldness. And so I thank God, because True Perspective Coaching on today, it exemplifies there's a boldness about what you know God has created you to do. And I always say this to people, especially if you are a leader or you are an entrepreneur, and whatever it is that you do, if you don't have a boldness with it, the people that follow you are going to grow up and be timid. And I always say, what do the leaders look like that you birth? And I can tell y'all that on today, from this interview with this young lady, there is a boldness, there is a fire that is within you that is going to come forth when you get connected with True Perspective Coaching. So if you're in need of that, you need that push, you need that motivation. This is the young lady today, and you're going to be able to find out her information here on the screen very shortly. But listen, we certainly thank God for you. We thank God for you taking your time out to come just to talk to the people of the Connector, just to be with us and be transparent, be open about where you come from, where you're going, and what your future holds. And your future holds really drawing a lot of people out of the trenches. Amen. Your future holds, this is my thing. Everybody is not called necessarily into the church ministry, right? But there is also what we call marketplace ministry. And people have to identify that every assignment that God gives you, even on the job, I am crazy enough to believe God never just puts you into a secular job without a purpose, even for his kingdom, right? Because remember, we are a spirit first, right? That possesses soul that lives in a body. And so everything that God has created for you before you entered your mother's womb, it has to come alive while you are here, right? And so my strength is just to help somebody identify that God has placed something in you, no matter where you feel you are right now. The coach is here. And so she has the tools and the resources and the instruments that she has presented here on today. And again, Ms. Drax, we certainly thank God for you. Are there any final nuggets that you want to leave with us? Any takeaways?
Yes, ma'am. One thing I do want to let everyone know that when I started, when I became a life coach and when I actually started my first class, nothing has been easy. I mean, nothing has been hard. I say that. Everything that I've asked God for, the door has opened. Everything that I need for my business, God has been giving it to me. If I ask him for something, he's giving it to me. And this let me know that I am in the right position to do the right thing, because God wants you to do what he's requiring you to do. So I'm in my requirement stage with God. When it's easy, it's God. God, when the doors are open, when you're asking God and the doors are open, God is going to flourish you even the more. And another thing I want you all to know, when you think of True Perspective Life Coaching, think of this. Keep pressing. No matter how it looks, or no matter how it feels, no matter how hard it gets, you have to keep pressing. You have to keep pressing that thing, that doesn't want to move out the way. You have to keep pressing it. Hallelujah. You have to keep pushing. Just like we want to open up them doors, you have to keep pushing it. I don't care how weak you get, you begin to ask God, give me the strength to push this door open, to push this out the way, to push this thing out the way, because I'm ready to declutter. And then you have to keep praying. You have to keep praying until you see God moving this thing out the way, your out the way. And I just want you to know to keep pressing, to keep pushing, and to keep praying. Those are your 3 P's that you need to do every day.
Keep pressing. Get on up. Keep pushing.
On up and say, I'm going to keep pressing.
All right.
No matter how it looks and no matter how I feel, I'm going to keep pushing. No matter what it feels like, God, give me the strength to push on through. And God, I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to still keep my routine. And I'm still going to pray, because I know, Lord God, you got something for me. That's what I want to leave you, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Hallelujah. Amen. Listen, there y'all have it. True Perspective Coaching. Keep pushing. Keep praying. What was that?
Pressing, keep pressing.
Keep pushing, keep pressing, and keep praying. We certainly thank God for you, Ms. Drax, and True Perspective Coaching. The information is there on the screen as to how you all can reach out. We thank you for your time. And listen, until next time, peace and blessings. God bless you all.